Hi guys, welcome to Wargaming Parrot. I am David, I'm joined by Pickles today, and today's video is going to be all about novel or novelty enrichment and how important and fun it can be for your interactions with your parrot. Now, novel and novelty enrichment is often overlooked and dismissed by a lot of people. It can sometimes be misunderstood as well, especially in the context of working with pet birds. So I wanted to talk about it in this video and maybe clarify why I think it's so important, why it's so fun for you and your parrot, and just how useful it can be in your interactions with them. Before we get started on novelty enrichment, I wanted to talk about what enrichment actually means. Now, enrichment is adding something to the environment for your parrot that mentally or physically stimulates them. And it's so important to provide enrichment to your parrot or any animal species because it helps them just enjoy their lives. Like for us, an equivalent enrichment would be playing on my PlayStation. That's enriching for me, that's rewarding. Or going for a run, if you want a physical example. For our parrots, it may be flying, it may be playing with toys, it may be foraging activities, and there's Scampy doing a bit of flying right there. But it's so important that enrichment is provided for your parrots, and novel or novelty enrichment is an easy way of doing so. Now, we're talking about novel or novelty enrichment. Now, the scientific term is novel enrichment, but I like to use the word novelty enrichment because I tend to sort of talk about human toys and things like that. And when you're doing it, just as I said, you're using unusual items to provide enrichment. So that may be human toys, that may be household items. Sophie even used a bubble machine in the past working with parrots. I remember I used to use little cups for lorikeets. Maybe not that novel, but when you combine them in certain ways, it could be lots of fun. So novel and novelty enrichment is just using unusual items, basically. Now, some people see parrots playing with novelty items and immediately feel that they're forced or that it's rubbish and they shouldn't be doing it. And this couldn't be further from the truth if it's done correctly. If your parrot is forced or coerced into doing it, it's not the best thing. However, if you're just doing it as part of training and play and they're enjoying it, they're getting a reward from it, then there really isn't anything wrong with it. And a lot of the cute videos you do see which use positive reinforcement and the appropriate ways of interacting with these items in safe ways as well, completely fine. Just when it's forced or it's just a potentially dangerous situation. So why is novelty enrichment so important and so useful? Well, the primary reason I think it's so good is it is such a great way of encouraging your parrots to do somewhat stimulating, unusual things and to really apply their problem-solving skills. With a lot of the novelty enrichment we use here, it really makes them think about how to get certain things, and it can even replicate foraging behaviour in the wild and problem-solving skills they may use out and about. Another thing I really like about novelty enrichment is it's really rewarding for me. It's really fun to do. It's kind of like using little miniatures, cute things and fun things that they enjoy, but I also enjoy watching them interact with. You can make cute videos, you can just see them like work things out, and I think that's immensely rewarding. It's like when I watch my parrots forage, I really enjoy watching them do that because you can just see the cogs turning in there and they're working out how to get those lovely treats. It's the same with novel and novelty enrichment. If you put the work in to train it and for them to interact with it, it's just really, really fun for you as a human. Now, as with lots of training and enrichment activities, especially done with us, novel enrichment can be really useful for bonding work. For example, when you're doing target training with your bird, you're creating a positive association with you and with the target stick. It's the same when you're doing novelty enrichment. If they're enjoying it and they're getting positively reinforced from it, it can be really reinforcing and really great for bonding work. When I used to work with Chip, when he first started using like the teach box and the toys, he just really loved it and he just really wanted to play with me, and it really helped to form our bond. Now, another sort of a term I like to use is fringe benefit of novelty enrichment is it's really, really good for descent and confidence building. Because your parrots interact with lots of different and unusual things, it's good for their confidence because they get used to interacting with strange, unusual things. So if they see these things or things that are similar, they're not quite scary. And we really do recommend using sort of introductory techniques and descent work for parrots in general. So this is something you can do through novelty enrichment, just lots of different things, lots of fun things to play with and interact with, and then suddenly those things aren't so scary and they get much more confident as parrots. As I mentioned earlier in the video, if it is not negative as an experience, it's not forced and it's fun, it creates a unique opportunity for every parrot owner to do fun things with their parrots and a unique experience for your parrot to enjoy, because you may set up the toy a different way to me. Every different owner may do something different or teach something slightly different, And I think that's really enriching for parrots, for us, and for the world in general if you decide to share it, because everyone else sees it. And while sometimes you see people do things that aren't ideal, I think it's generally beneficial for everyone to see how smart parrots are, and for us to show how smart and non-disposable these little guys are. They're very clever, they're very intelligent, and any opportunity to prove that to anyone in the world, I think is really worth taking. So I thought it'd be helpful as well to show you some examples. I'm going to show you some examples of toys we use, and I'm going to show you some clips, fun clips of our parrots interacting with them as well. So here is a small plastic Ferris wheel I bought for the parrots. I think it's originally some sort of mouse toy or something, but Baby Olive absolutely loves this, and they've all learned that the treats go in here, and if they interact with it, move it and spin it, they get the treats. And it's just really fun to see them spinning it and enjoying it. Another very simple example is this straw sombrero, which is Pickles is sampling right now. It is very simple to use. All I have to do is put some treats underneath it, put it on the floor. Then I can see if my parrots want to interact with it, and if they can work out if those treats are still there. And Chip and Scampy were very good at this. Scampy pushes it out of the way. Chip literally lifts it and keeps checking underneath it, even when there aren't treats, because he's so curious about what might be there waiting for him. Now here we also have a very simple learning toy from Zoomax, and this just has little coloured shapes that go into slots. And this is a very rewarding one to use, and also very simple and cheap. We actually got this one from Northern Parrots, and we just found so much benefit from it. Pickles is actually currently learning her shapes, although at the moment she seems to be more interested in going on my shoulder. This is the all-famous vending machine. Now, this is probably one of Chip's favourite tricks and fishes now, and probably one of the most popular things we've ever put up on Instagram or anywhere. And it's just a little vending machine, plastic vending machine, and the little bottles go in, the bottles go in, and they pop out the bottom again. And this goes around in cycles. And Chip used to do this for rewards, but now he just enjoys doing it. He doesn't actually need to get rewarded for it or reinforced, he just enjoys the sound and making the motions over and over. The final example I want to show you, because there's so many different examples. I've actually got a guide on like training toys, which I'll leave a card for now. But this is a Sylvanian Families product, and this is a little kitchen set. And again, I train Chip to put things on the kitchen counter and put things in the kitchen sink, and just generally like play with it and look like he's baking donuts. Again, really fun for me because I like miniature things, and really fun for Chip because he just loves throwing stuff around. Pickles is also giving her seal of approval on my shoulder. Now a lot of these products are actually available in my Amazon store if you want to check them out. Amazon has a wide variety, especially these things, and you can just check them out and pick them up or browse for things you might want to give a go at. Also, one thing I want to mention, I have videos on training to like play with these toys, but it does take effort, it does take a bit of D-Sense work, so you're not going to be able to just pop them in front of your bird and they're immediately going to know what to do. You will have to train it, and it will take some time, but if you do, the rewards for you and them are very big. One other thing I want to mention now I brought out the Sylvanian Families toy is a couple of disclaimers. Now I mentioned at the start it has to be safe. All of these toys are for supervised training and play and enrichment. So you don't want to be putting these in your parrot's cage and just leaving them to it. These are for supervised training sessions. You need to be careful. Also with Sylvanian Families especially, there are some very small parts. Those parts you don't want to give them to your parrot. If you want to keep them, put them in a little bag somewhere, keep them elsewhere, or throw them in the bin. Only use the bigger parts, because obviously you don't want your parrot swallowing any of them. You have to be careful with these toys. But if you are careful, as I mentioned before, it's very rewarding for you, very rewarding for them. Just make sure you supervise them and are responsible with them. So guys, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you found it entertaining and useful. I hope you also enjoyed the little clips as well of our parrots playing with some of the toys. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them down below. But in the meantime, take care, have a really good day.